Hey guys, welcome to Hemp is Hope. We do not have music today. As usual, it's dragging, and I wasn't going to do that to y'all. So I decided not to bring it, not to even play it. But we're so happy that y'all was able to tune in today on this amazing Wednesday. Or what is today, guys? Wednesday? But we have a plethora of topics today. We have the amazing Brandy who's going to talk to us about some detox. We have the amazing April. She found some great information on hot flashes, so make sure you stay tuned. And we have the Wood who's going to talk to us about probiotics. Okay, but if you have any questions, drop those questions in the comments because we're gonna read them and check them out. All right, Miss Brandy, what's going on? Tell us about detoxing and why is it so important?
Oh my gosh,
of course,
that's a whole big topic. But I'll start with, we're exposed. This is a big number. We're exposed to over 700,000 toxins on a daily basis, and so that's something I talk a lot about on social media because a lot of people don't realize that. They don't realize where the exposure comes from. And so if you're like me, you're like, oh well, I eat healthy, I avoid things with my kids that some people get. I don't know what we can say in here, but we live a pretty clean, non-tox lifestyle, but I'm still exposed to toxins every day and parasites, and so that's something that a lot of people don't know a lot about. And so it's a very broad topic. It's things like the water that you drink, the food that you eat, storing your food in plastic containers. I just did a reel on that the other day, and how most plastic containers contain BPA, and it actually leaches from the container into your food. People don't think about that. Your clothing contains chemicals, your beauty products, your hair products. I mean, April owns salons, she knows all about that. Your furniture emits chemicals. It's just everywhere. We had the guy here doing the yard today, and he's like, oh, it's raining, so I got to go. But when I come back, I'm going to spray the weeds. And I was like, well, what are you using? He's like, Roundup. And I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No. And he's like, well, find me an alternative. All right, I will find an alternative, but we are not spraying Roundup here. If you don't know, that's what contains glyphosate. So detox is such a important topic. If you have a genetic mutation called MTHFR, then your body doesn't methylate or detox properly. And so you struggle more than someone who doesn't have that gene to detox things that you come in contact with. There's things, and I don't know how deep you want me to go into this, but even our food. I posted something today about how they tested the powdered mac and cheese. I'm gonna be 42 this year. I grew up on some mac and cheese.
Me
good
too.
Old Kraft mac and cheese with the hot dogs cut up in a plastic Tupperware container. My parents were just feeding me chemicals for dinner, but we didn't know any better. You know what I mean? And they were not the good expensive hot dogs I buy my family. They were the nasty, cheap, you shouldn't be eating hot dogs. And so something just came out that they tested the powdered cheese packets. They tested hundreds of different powdered cheeses, and they all contained these awful phthalates, these awful chemicals that can screw with your estrogen and your testosterone, and they're carcinogens, and it's just crazy. And this is what parents are up against. They've tested baby food and found heavy metals and lead, juices, apple juice, and juice boxes you give your kids. And so you really have to be diligent to be avoiding, what you're exposing yourself to. But even if you're avoiding it, you have to continually detox. I said the word parasites. People hear parasites and they think oh, I haven't been out of the country in years, I'm good. Yeah, no. Parasites are not a third world country thing. They are an everyday, everywhere kind of thing. And you can be exposed to parasites from walking barefoot outside. If you have a pet in your home, you have parasites. I hate to break it to you. I have over 40 animals on our farm here. We continually have to do parasite detoxes. If you drink water, if you eat undercooked meat or sushi, and I'm not just talking about eating your steak raw. If you eat a hamburger that's not cooked all the way through, you probably have parasites. The stuff that is in the sky, those lines that are in the sky that weren't there when we were kids. Those are not normal. They shouldn't be there. They actually can expose you to parasites. And so it's just produce, fruit. Like it's everywhere and it's just part of our lives. So I don't share this to scare people, but it's just one of those things where you have to be diligent in your health. And there's ways to do simple detoxes. And so that's what we do in our group. Really proud of everyone that's been helping out with that group. The group is almost 6 months old, and we're about to hit 12,000 members. It's just exploded. And that is what we do in there, is we teach people how to know what to look for. Like, how do you make changes if you don't know what to look for? Like Rachel, if she wants to share her coffee story, she almost dropped me as a friend over coffee. But to know what to look for, but then also, options, like ways that you can gently detox your family and your kids and your babies and your pets and protect them from all the things we're exposed to.
Okay, guys, she said a lot.
I did.
So I don't know. Let me take a sip of this water. That's probably going to cause me to have more worms. Okay, so first thing I want to say is we don't know what we don't know. Okay, and so I have several autoimmune disorders, and so the reason why hemp is hope even got started is because I didn't know that hemp was even hope. I just know that my doctor gave me all these different pills to take, and each pill led to another pill, which led to another pill, which led to another pill. And by the time I was 35 years old, I had a drawer full of pills, and I was just like, this just cannot be my life. And I ran into Brandy. I don't know, it's been years now. And she just kept trying to teach me, and I just was not wanting to learn. I only want to learn a little, Brandy. Just give me a little, and I want to do my way, a little, and do my way. But the more I start really learning, the better I started feeling. And so, guys, I'm trying to tell you, I don't know if that's me. Somebody's echoing. Hold on, guys. Let me see if that's my side. Can y'all hear me? Mm-hmm. Okay. And so I'm just trying to let y'all know that I know it could be so overwhelming when we're talking about detoxing, when we're talking about hemp is hope, when we're telling you all these things. But I promise you, if you just try and start trying to look out for yourself and take care of yourself, you're going to feel so much better. So I drink coffee in the morning, which helps with my inflammation and helps with my brain health, right? And I love my coffee. Y'all drink my coffee and I be smiling and cheesing. And I be like, oh, but sometimes by noon, I don't be feeling all that great. I'm like, Brandy, I probably need to detox because I don't feel well. And Brandy was like, okay, so what are you doing? So Brandy looked at my coffee and she went crazy. And she was like, it's not the coffee that you're drinking. It's all the things that you put inside your coffee, which is making you sick before noon. And I was like, what? Everything that I was putting inside my body, and I'm going to let her explain it to you because I'm not going to tear it up. But go ahead, Brandy.
Well, so here's the thing too, like coffee, what the coffee you drink is important to start with, right? So like coffee is the most heavily sprayed crop in the world. Most people don't know that. It is the most heavily sprayed pesticide crop in the world. Coffee beans are expensive. They don't want to lose the beans to, bugs or whatever. So they're heavily sprayed. It's also one of the moldiest crops. And so there's a lot of mold and pesticides in coffee. So drinking a high quality, like the coffee you drink with the CBD, drinking a high quality organic coffee that's third party tested for mold is really important. So I want to get that out of the way. But Rachel was sending me, she sent me a picture of her creamer. And I think you only sent me a picture of one of the things. I think there was multiple things you added in, but
it was caramel. I think you pictured the caramel and the creamer and you lost it.
Yeah, lost it. Because here's the thing, guys, like when you don't know what you're looking for, and it's one of my favorite things to do is teach people how to read labels, because that's really hard to know what to look for. You can look at a label, and if you don't know if you don't know what you're looking for, if you don't know what things are that you should avoid, or you don't know why certain things are bad, then it doesn't mean anything to you. You think you're doing a good job. Like Rachel was like, well, I eat really good and I, and she sent me that. And I was like, girl, like you've got all these health issues, which I have too. Like I have autoimmune issues. I had leaky gut. I was recovering from toxic mold exposure. Like, I really was going through it. And so diet's really important. And so she sent me pictures of her creamer, and I got to remember what was all in it, but it was like, I know the sugar was like crazy high. So the female body cannot process more than 24, 25 grams of sugar a day. Okay. A male, it's 36. So when I get people to focus on sugar, that's one of the first things. Like, you want to talk about detoxing, and it can be overwhelming, and one step at a time. You don't have to go like get rid of everything. You don't have to go throw everything in your house out, right? You pick something to start with, and you start small. So sugar was in the coffee was one with Rachel that we talked about. So hers had, I think, like 22 or 26 grams of sugar. So in one cup of coffee, she's starting her morning with like maxing out her daily allowance of sugar. Okay, now I know she didn't avoid sugar for the rest of the day, because sugar's in everything. Even if you think you're not eating sugar, you know what? You're eating sugar. I mean, it's in spaghetti sauce, it's in ketchup, it's in bread. I mean, it's literally in the craziest, most random things. Drinks that you drink, if you drink anything other than water, you're either drinking sugar or artificial sweeteners, which are a whole nother topic. And so she sent me her coffee, and it was sugar and like artificial colors and artificial flavors. There was something else in it that was really bad, and I can't remember. I should have looked at it before we got on here. But she sent me this, and I was like, girl, this is causing a lot of your problem. A lot of what you're talking to me about and your inflammation and the issues you're having, you're drinking it in the morning. And so she got quiet, wasn't sure if we were still going to be friends. But she came back and was like, what are some alternatives? Like, what do I do? And so, in dairy is one of the most inflammatory things you can eat. And I know that that's hard for people to understand, especially cheese. People get real, real mad when I start talking about their cheese. And so, that's something where you've got to really learn all these things, and you can still enjoy the things you love in life. We eat cheese. We just only eat raw dairy. It's the only dairy that we have in our house that actually has beneficial bacteria and all this stuff in it for your body. So I gave Rachel some options, and she started trying them out. And I think she had a rough few days of coffee. She wasn't smiling and having a great morning with her coffee for a few days, but she figured it out. And you know what? I was there too. As knowledgeable as I am about stuff, I was still drinking. It was a dairy-free creamer, but it still had sugar. And so I decided I was going to let that go, and I completely cut out sugar. And I do coconut milk and a little bit of honey, and that's how I drink my coffee every morning. So I'm starting my day with things that are not harming my body.
And that's so good, guys. And so I hope that helps somebody. And that's the whole reason of us telling you the story, because we have to be proactive with the decisions that we make. And it just had to be a decision. I'm sitting up here saying, "Oh, I'm starting my day off right by drinking this healthy coffee that I know is a better version of coffee." But then, what am I doing? I'm adding all this unhealthy junk in it, and then I'm wondering why my stomach hurt. And so then after that, Brandy had me start detoxing, and so then I started detoxing. I was like, "Okay, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good." And then she's like, "Do you see worms?" I'm like, "What's a worm?" Like, no. Like, why would I see a worm in my poop? Like, who does that? Like, that's too much for me. Like, you're doing, like, now you're too far. And so I'm in this group, and they was like, "Well, if your stomach hurt or you do A, B, and C, you might be having worms." And I was like, "Okay, I had that the other day, so maybe I should start looking." So something happened. I was like, do I look? Like, what are you supposed to do? And I seen a worm, and I was like, "Oh, this is too much. I want to go back to the other world when I didn't know about worms and eating the sugars and just do what I wanted to do."
It's so funny though, but it's like, I tell Mike all the time, I'm like, some days I wish I could be normal. Like, we walk to the grocery store, and I pick stuff up and I put it down. I pick stuff up and I put it down. And I'm like, some days I wish I just didn't care, and I could go out to eat and just eat whatever I want and just not care. But then I'm like, but I've lived that life, and I know how I felt. And, like you said,
Right.
You
just feel so much worse later.
So much worse. And so that's why, detoxing is so important. So she started doing our heavy metal and gut detox. It made a big difference for her. It within 2 weeks of doing it, my digestive issues from the mold, I had leaky gut and all these issues. They were probably a 12 out of 10. It was one of my biggest concerns. They were like a 2 after 2 weeks on the detox. And my gut was so unhealthy. Here's what you got to grasp. When your gut's unhealthy, your gut is your second brain. It makes your whole body unhealthy. I was
Right.
so sick. I was 100 pounds. My hair was falling out. My
Wow.
skin was aging rapidly. I was a hot ass mess. And so I was doing all the things, but nothing was healing my gut properly. And then I started the detox. And guys, I've put on 20 pounds. Like, I get up in the morning now to work out to like tone up, but I put on 20 pounds because I was so underweight. My hair started growing back. My skin is smoothing out. Like, I'm actually feeling like I've got my life back.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, that's all we here on this Wednesday. I'm hoping that's something that Brandy is telling you, ignite the fire in you to take your life back. Because we're not meant to eat and feel sick. We're
Mm-mm.
not meant to wake up and feel sluggish. We're not meant to eat more than our eyes. I don't know if I said that properly.
Your
You
eyes
know,
get
we
bigger than your stomach.
There
that
you
part, you
go.
know. And so if we just make better choices, and when we make bad choices, if we're detoxing, it'll kind of balance it off a little bit. And so that's the only thing we're here for. We just want to help y'all live the best, fullest life that you can and feel so much better. Because if you like me and Brandy, we know what it feels like to just not feel well, and we just want to help you out. Did anybody want to ask Brandy anything else? Did you want to say anything else, Miss Brandy?
I'll turn it over to you guys. I think I left a lot there tonight for people to chew on.
You did. And I love it because I didn't even know. I did see something about the macaroni and cheese, and I think I might have some in my cabinet right now.
So there was one brand, I guess
Oh, I
The
don't know that.
Annie's organic brand did not test positive for the phthalates. But again, that's why it's important to understand how to read labels, understand what you're looking for in food, why it's important to buy certain things organic, and that's what we talk about in our group. That is one of my passions. I love to call out companies when they have crap in their products, and they a lot of times you get caught up in clever marketing. A product says it's clean or it's natural or it's this or it's that or it's organic, and then you read, and so people buy that. They don't read the labels. Mike does that all the time. He's not at the grocery shop on his own because he comes home with stuff and he's like, look what I got. It looks so good. And I turn it over and I'm like, did you read the label? Well, no. Look what it says on the front. Yeah, you don't look at the front of the box. You look at the label. Like,
I just want.
Natural flavor is one of the worst ones. I don't want, like, I was taught not to use the hate word, but I just hate it. When I
it's so
see
bad.
natural flavor, you know, and it's like it's chemically flavored stuff that's not good for you, but they put natural flavor. So meaning it tastes like lemon, but it's not flavored from lemon, or it tastes like lime, but that's one of the worst deceiving ones that I wish that the federal people or whoever is over in charge would make these companies stop putting on stuff that's not holistic or natural.
So they can
Mm,
actually hide hundreds of chemicals in natural flavors. And like a percentage of them are petroleum based, which is
mm,
insane. Another one, if you don't know this one, citric acid. Citric acid is in everything, literally everything. So they never list what form it is. This is gonna make
mm.
you'll hate this one as much as natural flavors if you don't already know this one. So citric acid, they never list the form. It just says citric acid, and you're like, oh, citric acid, citrus, lemons,
Hmm.
limes, whatever.
Vitamin
That's great.
C.
Right. So
Hmm. Did not know that.
synthetic, so natural citric acid is from lemons, limes, citrus fruits, whatever. Synthetic citric acid is actually grown from black mold on GMO corn. And companies don't have to list that. And
What?
because it's grown on the GMO corn, but the end product is not technically GMO, they can use that version of citric acid in a non-GMO product.
Hmm.
It's bad.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
When you just go,
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Wow. Now we can just marinate on that one. Like that was like a let me think about what you just said for a little bit. That's crazy. Okay, guys, that was a lot. I don't know, Brandon, if you're going to stay on. We're about to talk about probiotics, and of course, you can jump in when he's as he discussed probiotics if you want to. But if you want to get off, I understand she's in a different time zone than us, and of course, she's been up since 5. So either way, it's fine with us because we love your input.
Thank you,
guys.
I'm gonna
If
be short,
y'all,
April.
huh?
I said I'm gonna be short, April.
Oh, if you want to drop any messages or any comments, guys, drop them in and I can read the comments. We all can read the comments. Just drop them in Facebook or YouTube. Facebook user, we're gonna say hi to you, but we don't know who you are. So you can put your name if you want to, but all you have to do is give StreamYard permission, and we can say hi with your name. And so Will is gonna talk to us about probiotics. What we need to know about probiotics, Will?
Yeah, so right quick, I'm just gonna jump in here and just kind of surf the skim the surface a little bit. First of all, why did I want to talk about probiotics? One major reason is because I kept having weight issues, and even when I would do things like force myself to like go on a soda fast and literally drink zero sodas, cut out the chips, my weight just doesn't go down fast enough. I've been to, nutritional classes, and they say if you do this many calories and this many calories and you weigh this much, your weight should go down at this rate. And I was just like, mine is just not adding up. The scale might go down a little bit, but it just wasn't adding up like scientifically supposed to. So I started to hear about things like what Brandy said, leaky gut and liver issues and microbiome issues, and issues with, not being able to drop weight or excess body fat, being toxic and things like that. So I started to look at probiotics. Now, it might be a pink or purple elephant in the room because I think all of us actually sell a probiotic drink. So one of the drinks that I think most of us market, I started to drink. I did not know that it was a probiotic. I did not. I just got it because it was like, oh, drink this, get more energy. Okay. But my wife and I noticed that when we were drinking the drink, our weight came down. And we came off of this drink about a month ago, and we both gained 4 pounds. And so we got to talking about it, and when my wife says order something, I know something works. So,
whatever you was on, I need you to order that again.
Right. So here's the thing. I ordered a product, and in the past week, something just kept telling me, look at all the ingredients. Look at some of the marketing videos. Because and some of you watching may say, well, why wouldn't he have already looked at all of the ingredients or the video? Well, I can't get into the whole story, but people like Rachel and I and, Brandy and, so forth, we've been to the company headquarters. We know the CEOs of companies and things like that. So we have trust. We have, it's not like somebody sold us a product and it came from some foreign country and somebody just put it in our hands and said, try this. We've been there, done that, been eyeball to eyeball, walked through the headquarters and things like that. So, we've had the tour. We have the pictures that we can't even put on the internet. You know what I'm saying? We have to show them to you in private. But I looked at the video and I looked at the in-depth ingredients and it said probiotics. And I was like, wow. Oh. And I've been thinking that I had maybe a leaky gut issue or the microbiome being off. But now I'm putting the pieces of the puzzle together. So anyway, Not to get into all the microbiome, but your body has good and bad bacteria. Probiotics is the good bacteria. Now, with me, I found out that you can eat certain foods and get the good bacteria probiotics. You can eat sauerkraut. It's not going to happen.
Oh,
Not going to happen. you can eat yogurt. I'm not eating yogurt every day. It's not going to happen for me. Sourdough bread. First of all, you can only eat so much bread, and then you kind of throwing yourself back off. So you got to make sure you're only eating a portion of it. Let's be real. Who does that? Who's going to cut just a little piece of sourdough bread every day and eat it? That's not going to happen. If you like sourdough bread, you're probably going to end up putting some butter on it, some cream cheese on it, toast it. Realistically, it's out the window. It's not going to happen. You're going to be causing more harm than help in some situations. You can eat sour pickles. I very much dislike pickles. I don't eat pickles on cheeseburgers.
Oh my God, that's my favorite.
So all of the probiotic foods that most people promote and say, if you don't want to take a supplement, here's the foods you can eat. I
definitely want to hear Brandy's input on this probiotics. I definitely want to.
So what I found is that the probiotic, as your body's microbiome gets better because of your probiotics and your food digests better, okay? So then you have more energy and your appetite goes down. I noticed that. I had to even telling my wife, I was like, wow, I can drink this and not eat for a few hours and not get hungry, versus I've had other shakes and things like that, but I have to mix them up and all that. And then I'm spending more money with some of the other shakes because I'm mixing this and the fiber in that and putting it in a shake. But with our little sticks, that one stick, put it in the water and it dissolves better too. I don't have to put it in a blender. That's the other thing with our drink here. I can put it in a cup and just stir it up with a spoon. So my emotions are better, my mood is better, my appetite is down. So get a good probiotic. And yes, we definitely have a great probiotic drink that can help you. And I'm excited about it. I've got my brand new bag of sticks and I'm tearing it off, putting it in my water, stirring it up every day. So anyway, probiotics, they'll help you build up your immune system too. So it's just a good thing to get into. And I'm Mr. Will, and I'm dropping the mic.
I did not know it had probiotics in it, but I know which drink you're talking about. And me and my children love that drink. We drink it all the time. And it does help with like the bloating and all the stuff. So yeah, so I guess that makes sense. But give us some good tea, Brandy, about probiotics.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but if you take an antibiotic, it damages your gut. Every time you take an antibiotic, it damages your gut. So an antibiotic kills whatever bacteria you're taking it for. And sadly, they overprescribe antibiotics. They kind of hand them out like candy for everything, especially ear infections, which don't need an antibiotic, by the way. But every time you take an antibiotic, it damages your gut. And that damage can be seen up to like 6 months to a year later from one round of an antibiotic. Antibiotics are awful. So, a lot of people have gut issues that they don't realize because they have taken antibiotics, they're eating crappy food, maybe they've been exposed to, something like Lyme or mold or whatnot. And so it's not normal to be bloated. It's not normal to have gas. It's not normal to be constipated. Do you guys know how often you should go number 2?
Like as many times as you eat per day. If you eat 3 times a day, you should poop 3 times a day.
So you're supposed to be going, yes, at least once a day, but ideally 2 to 3 times a day. Most people don't do that. And a lot of people think it's normal to poop once a week, twice a week. So these are things that are not normal. And this is showing that you have damage in your gut. There's something going on in your gut. So probiotics are amazing for your gut health. Probiotics and digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes taken before you eat something helps your body digest that food. And so, yeah, probiotics are huge. When a baby is colicky, typically, and it's usually in formula fed babies absolutely should be on a probiotic because that is not natural for their gut. So they're having gut issues. So when a baby is colicky, typically if you get them on a probiotic and you take them to the chiropractor, not all, don't think I'm saying that's all, but typically that can help correct what's going on. They have something going on in their guts. Yeah. Probiotics are huge. Like Will said, there's a lot of pre and probiotic foods. I love sauerkraut. I add sauerkraut to, I'll eat it with my eggs. I'll add it to everything. Sauerkraut's amazing. Love it. I'm Polish though, so that might be a big part of it. Sourdough bread. That's a great example. I make my own sourdough. Sourdough is probably the only bread you should eat if you don't want to make it. Aldi actually has a sourdough bread that has some pretty clean ingredients and it's really affordable. So I know in Ohio you guys have Aldi, so that's a great bread option to choose. Anything fermented, any fermented foods are going to have probiotics and be great for your gut. Now the caveat to that I want to say real quick, and then I'll stop talking. Is like kombucha. Kombucha is great for your gut. It's full of probiotics. However, if you look at 90% of the kombuchas in a store, they have a crap ton of added sugar. So kombucha on its own typically has like 20 grams of natural sugar. Okay, because it's fermented using sugar, so it has fruits and flavors and whatever. So kombucha is great. That has helped me through so many gut issues. It actually helps settle my stomach if I'm having some kind of issue. But make sure that you're reading that label. There's one brand called GTS, and it's the only brand that I found that has no added sugar. So again, just going back to reading labels. But yeah, probiotics are huge. Everybody should be taking them.
Okay, great info for anybody with gut, she said, gassy, not going to the restroom regularly. And if you're not even doing that, you need to be detoxing anyway, okay? And on top of the probiotics. Did you want to add something to that, April, before we go to the next, which is the hot flashes?
You guys have been throwing out a lot, and I agree with all of it. I was just putting out fires with children. That's why I got it. But no, like I agree with all of that. Like I take a probiotic. I have been trying to look more into digestive enzymes. Actually, I don't know where to start with that.
I can help you.
Yeah, I was thinking that when you were talking, I'm like, I'll be messaging her later. Because like my daughter has like a lot of gut issues. Like our daughters have a lot of the same things that go on, and feeding her is like impossible. So it's like either starve her or cave into some scenarios. Like I always go the organic route and clean as much as I possibly can. But yeah, when I saw that mac and cheese thing today, I was so upset. I'm like, my organic one better be on the good list. It better be the only one that's good. I was like, so mad. So she eats like 3 food groups. That's one of them.
It's tough.
But yeah, so digestive enzymes, I'm really looking into that. But yeah, no, I was just going back to, and we don't even have to talk about this tonight because we just gave a lot of information out, but we can jump back on when we get onto more of the CBD talk of the endocannabinoid system and like temperature control. I think we have a lot of information we've given out today, and I think it's a lot to ponder on, and it's good, and it all ties together with the whole body. So I think that going to another topic right now would be a lot to consume. So I think we should save that for next week, but I love all the things that we've talked about. I personally took the detox since March. I've recently just ran out. Other than that, I'm usually on it. And I got my blood tested recently, and I still have metals they're low, but I still have metals in my blood. And I've been detoxing since March. So imagine if I wasn't. So I definitely, and like my daughter's black circles in her eyes were gone and her stomach aches were gone. She's still, we ran out. So I'm debating on doing it all year long or like a routine maintenance is where I was like debating on like, all right, is this one of our everyday necessities or is this going to be like our twice a year thing? You know, New Year and summer, like what are we going to do? Haven't decided that yet. So far, so good. But I know the last time I took her off, she had stomach aches again. So I'm like, I don't know if I need to get her on a digestive enzyme. If it's not giving it enough time to pass the parasite, like maybe I need to go longer. I've had some mold exposures. Like, there's just a lot of things. This is so many things.
It's an ever evolving journey. And that's where, like, if you're on a health journey, you just have to give yourself grace and just know it's an ever evolving journey. If you want to message me, I'll help you through any of the questions that I can. But our daughters are so similar. Like my little one was having stomach aches every time she ate. And we were like, she's difficult with food too. And same thing, like we eat super clean, but she's kind of picky. And the detox, since we started the detox, she's been on it since February and she hasn't had a stomach ache yet, which is huge. Like her stomach aches went away. So
yeah, that's huge. And I do agree with you too. Like, don't go looking in your cabinet right now and throwing away everything in your house. Like, that's not realistic. We've all been on this journey for years. Like, this isn't like we didn't just start this yesterday. You know, I started one thing at a time and continue to do the same thing.
Every time you grocery shop.
Yeah.
And like when you run out of stuff, like if you run out of ketchup, okay, well, let's go look for a cleaner ketchup option. If you, you know, if you run out of, next time you go grocery shopping, try a different bread. Try a bread that doesn't have, most bread has folic acid in it. Folic acid is synthetic. And if you have MTHFR, your body can't process it. So next time you go buy bread, look for a sourdough that has clean ingredients. Like, don't overwhelm yourself. Just pick little things and involve your kids. Make it fun for your kids. So it's not just like, oh my God, I hate my mom. She threw away all my food and now I have to eat a bunch of junk. Like, we don't feel like we're missing out on anything. We eat the way we used to eat before. Like, that we eat the things, like I made banana bread tonight with all clean ingredients and it was chocolate chip banana bread and it was amazing.
Love it.
So you can still eat the things you love. It's just finding different ingredients to use. And if you involve your kids, like Anya's the kid walking around the store that's like, Mom, read this label. Oh my God, look at that. That is all dyes and sugar. Mom, look what's in their cart. They are really unhealthy people. Like, yeah, please don't say that any louder.
Juliana's gotten into the dyes because I got really, really strict with dyes because we were having behavioral issues for both kids. And I could tell, like, I would go to my mom's house and I'd pick the kids up and they were different human beings and not in a good way. And I'd be like, what did she feed you? And like, she would like give me a hard time about it. Now I've got her looking up dyes because it's that unbearable, the behavioral difference in my children when they have dyes. And sugar.
Dyes are a huge one.
Definitely sugar too.
Dyes. You know, and think, I'll leave you guys with this. Think about this. You know, we were talking about Rachel's coffee in the morning. That was setting the tone for her day. Okay. ADD, ADHD has skyrocketed. Yeah. What's changed? Truly, what's changed? Our food has changed. And how many parents don't know any better and they feed their kids cereal? And so you're giving your kids Captain Crunch or Lucky Charms or Fruity Pebbles in the morning that is full of synthetic folic acid, a ton of sugar, natural flavors, every dye known to man. So you're feeding your kids this stuff. And it's upsetting their stomachs and sending them to school. So it's screwing with their brains. It's upsetting their stomachs. And then they're supposed to sit quietly at a desk all day. And they're getting in trouble at school. They're coming home sick. Like, it's a vicious cycle.
It is. It's a vicious cycle. It definitely is.
It's time to break it.
Yes.
That's why we have Hemp is Hope, guys. I'm sorry. That's why we have Hemp is Hope. And that's why we're here. We're just here to educate you guys. We're just here to just bring awareness. And if anything that we said resonated, we do not promote any specific products, but what we do is we're going to tell you the products that we are honestly using, not a product that's being forced on us to tell you we're getting a paycheck to tell you that we're using. That
don't worry,
we're honestly using the products that we're honestly huh? What'd you say?
I said, don't worry, what did I say? It's soda water, not Sprite.
Oh, hey, I'm not judging you, whatever you're drinking. Okay,
I'm like, I eat really clean, guys. Look at my pop. Just kidding.
But Brandy has a group that's it doesn't sell anything inside the group. It tells you about a whole lot of stuff inside that group. It's full of knowledge. After this, she can drop everything inside, or she can tell you now. I think it's called Detox Mom. I make up stuff. It's something.
Detoxmom.com.
naturaldetoxmom.com will take you to the group. Yeah, so if you just go to naturaldetoxmom.com, that's a generic website that will lead you to the group. That's just for anyone to use. But yeah, the group's just all, I mean, we talk about all kinds of things, like literally everything. I go live, which I'm going to go live probably Friday after I grocery shop and just show you guys the food that I buy. So it's literally about everything.
I love
And so you could just kind of go in there and just kind of see what's going on and stuff like that. And then, like Will talked about, the probiotics and the drink that he has that he was talking about. It's hot outside, guys. You need to be. Hey, Will, is that your son? Is that your baby?
That's my baby boy from 3 years back. It just let me be able to come in. I had to connect my YouTube.
Oh, okay. And so it's hot outside. And so all we're telling y'all to do is just make some healthy choices. And so if he was just telling you, so he offers a drink that's healthy that you can add to your water. You could just shake it up, and it has probiotics in it. And then Brandy gave you so many great options that you can take, that you can eat for probiotics. And we have detox. It's just a lot of amazing things.
I got to run. I love you all. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Kids screaming. Things are going on. I got to go. But I appreciate you all, and I will talk to you soon.
Bye, Miss April.
Bye.
All right, Will. Let us out, Will.
All right. Appreciate everybody watching. Come back in a couple weeks for Hemp is Hope, Not Dope. And we thank you guys for tuning in. Always make sure you put in some questions if you have them, and we will definitely get back with you. Thank you. Peace out.
Bye, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Bye.